We arrived at Agartha, a giant hole in the earth leading to a lush paradise filled with naked Aryan men having sex with each other. No foids in Agartha allowed. We saw white angelic glow in the distance, and there he arrived, Chilled Flamer, a man so white that he was bright as a lighthouse's beacon, a man with hair so blonde that it was shiny like gold, with eyes so blue that they make lapis lazuli look red in comparison, with body so beautiful and muscular that it makes Arno Brecker's sculptures look like pathetic fat jokes in comparison. As always, he was completely mute, communicating solely in gestures and facial expressions, and sometimes pen and paper. I asked, "Can you help us, Master? There is a great danger to us all in our world, a disgusting fat inseon of P-BAMites," I said. He just nodded lightly and started walking out of Agartha. He followed us back to burned ruins of Q-BAM, where we saw a blood-stained letter next to a mutilated corpse of what seemed to be Pablo. The letter said, "They broke through M+'s defenses. P-BAM massacred everybody. Umut was killed and his body eaten by Malay. Avenge us." It was horrible news. We got another news on a bloodied newspaper laying nearby in the snow, laying next to a mutilated corpse of another Pablo. Yes, there are two of them. The newspaper had a giant title that said, "Łukasz Jakowski dead. He was consumed by a giant, fat Asian." I have realized that this was our last chance to save the world. We buried the bodies, and the remaining 4 of us continued on. Few minutes later, we have met another corrupted Q-BAMite. Evil Poopy Bluvi. Couldn't think of any clever name. He attacked us with his own shit like a chimpanzee, and even threw his giant cuck chair at us. But we dodged it, and easily shot him down with our rifles we scavenged from ruins of USGW. You didn't know we did that. You should have known. We thought he is dead until he lunged like an angry tiger at New Taiwan dollars. He brapped loudly on him, making the Taiwanese man shrink like if he was in a vacuum chamber. No water was remaining in his body, and he obviously passed away. We kept firing until that beast was put down and torn to shreds. We continued on after we buried New Taiwanese dollars. After an hour of walking, we have finally saw a big fleshy blob nearby. It was unmistakable with anything else. It was, of course, Malay boy toy. Chilled Flamer immediately started throwing Aryan magic balls, as in actual magic testicles, at Ritwan, tearing at him piece by piece. Reddypin, meanwhile, took out his AK-47 that he badly modified with scrap like a nigger, and shot at Malay's 9,000 eyes. Malay roared in pain and threw his excrements at us. I dodged, but poor Pinny did not. He fucking melted into a puddle. So I took his baby that he had with him, threw it at Malay, and it fucking exploded like a grenade, taking some of Malay's face off. He roared and charged at us at a surprisingly rapid pace for his size. But the hyper-Aryan Chilled Flamer did not succumb to fear, and stood against him. He has drew out his angelic heavenly MG-42, the best gun to ever exist, by the way, and fired a huge series of bullets at Malay's neck, severing his artery and making him bleed pure grease fat all over the mountains. I just hid behind a rock, because I am one of the more cowardly Steph variants, and watched as Chilled Flamer tore Malay piece by piece. But unexpectedly, I saw an army of shitskin-looking robots, similar to the one Reddypin was laughing at. They were commanded by an anorexic shitskin, who looked as if he has not eaten in months. But despite that, his right hand was very muscular. He spoke in broken French something about le enfance, whatever it means. I knew who it was. It was Nasu, also known as Syntax or Blitzo. The shitskin robots attacked me and Chilled Flamer, firing their shit cannons in our direction and shooting brown and yellow lasers. Chilled Flamer, in response, has decided to use his ultimate weapon, the Chilled Flamer. It looked like a futuristic flamethrower that was completely frozen over, as if it was left in Antarctica for a year. Chilled Flamer took the Chilled Flamer out and burnt with frostfire all the robots, tearing through them till he finally got to Nasu and decapitated him with just his fingernails. Meanwhile, Malay picked up the entire state of Israel with his fat, grubber hands and fucking swallowed it. Wow! Chilled Flamer kept firing at Malay with his ultimate weapon, but Malay kept growing back the parts he lost, patching up all the wounds. It was no use. We eventually retreated slowly for several hours, till we ended up in ruins of P-BAM again. We knew Malay is chasing us, but he is so fat it will take a while to catch up with us. Chilled Flamer showed me in gestures what is his plan to defeat Malay now. His plan was to create the porno bomb. Chilled Flamer gave me a set of instructions of paper on what to do, while he went to stall Malay even more by counterattacking him. I saw from afar that apparently Malay was fighting against War State Army, with Bao Yuxiang at its helm. Gunfire ran everywhere. J-10s dove down and fired rockets at Malay. War soldiers ran into his every hole of his body and threw explosives and blew them up. Type 98 fired at Malay's eyes, knocking them out one by one. The pitch-black sky was lightened up by bright streaks of bullets and fiery explosions. What a spectacle. But I had to be fast, before Malay inevitably overpowers them all. I first bursted blood in the pattern of the Z-cake. Then I threw the hard drive with Bamtifu in the middle of it, burst some more blood over it, and crushed 4 CDs with Q-BAM, burned into them into dust that I spread over in a circular manner. And finally, I said, "Allo porno," 10 times backwards on one leg, and laughed uncontrollably and burst blood again, but this time just for fun. I saw it arising from the ritual. It was a bomb like any other, but with big P written on it and a pair of muscular legs. I saw it immediately rushed at Malay Boy Toy. When Chilled Flamer saw it running, he ran back to me and gestured at me to run too. I ran, and I heard very loud, "Allo, porno!" and start laughing uncontrollably. Shortly after, I see light behind me. It was so fucking bright that the normally pitch-black night turned into middles of the day. Then Chilled Flamer pulled me behind a rock, as I saw a sonic wave spread across the valleys of Urals. I saw black ash and burning pieces of soil be thrown past me, as if from an explosion. 30 minutes later, I looked at Malay's direction. There was a huge bright cloud in the shape of P still present on top of his corpse. I saw big pieces of flesh everywhere, burnt and cooked. I saluted and said, "Allo porno." Chilled Flamer followed, so it was finished. I don't know what to do now. I am currently living with Chilled Flamer in Agartha, as other Aryans are trying to rebuild the destroyed world. I hope this story I am telling you will teach you a lesson. Never let P-BAMites inside your community.